The obviously news of the week is we have some young people, a couple fourth-year guys that have decided. Our fourth-year guys were Cardell, Tyvus, and Michael. Two of them have their degrees in a national championship and some division championships. They've decided to chase their dream. They did it. Everyone was so professional about how they did this. This started, if you remember, I think we won it last year on January 12th. This started on January 13th. And the year of stuff, but for the most part, for the most part, we give up a last-second field goal to a very good team at the end of the season. Other than that, our guys did a good job, and they did do a very good job. And whether it's agents, whether it's uncles, whether it's whomever, all of these stuff out there is phenomenal. And I can't tell you how impressed I am that our guys are able to stay, because I've done this for a long time now, and I've seen where just complete distraction, disruption, and what about this, coach? What about this? What about this? And we all agreed that we're going to wait till, other than Zeke and I don't know if Joey came out earlier or not, but Cardell said something. But for the most part, it was even those guys were very professional the way they handled their business. And you have to ask yourself why, and everything's a why to me. And I think because of the love for Ohio State, and more importantly, their love of their teammates and their coaching staff, and to stay professional. Let's finish our job. Let's go in there and play. We played 2 top 10 teams to close the season out, and this would be not a very pleasant press conference if we didn't do our jobs against those last 2 teams. And so very, very impressed with what those guys have done. It's obvious the 50-4 record in 4 years will go down in college football history, certainly Ohio State history, and well-deserved. And what does the future hold? Future is extremely bright. Offensively, I feel great where we're at. Pat Elflein coming back will be a center. You got your quarterback back for a couple more years. You got 2 good young tailback, or 1 older tailback, Briante, and then you got Weber, and you got some Curtis Samuel, Dontre Wilson, Noah Brown. Corey Smith, it looks like there's a potential for a 6th year. We're still moving as if he's going to get it, which is a great sign. You have a kid named KJ Hill, Marcus Ball, and then we recruited very well in the offensive line. So I feel very strong about the offense. Defense, we're going to have to replace some guys. The interior defense line is the biggest concern, but we have some guys coming in. I'm not allowed to talk about them yet, but a couple guys will be here in about a week. Because they're starting. I think we have 8 guys coming in mid-semester. Is that right, Jerry? 7 or 8. And so we're just got to keep. I think we have 4 spots left in recruiting that we're going to do our best to close the door. So it's going to be kind of. I think I compare it to, as I discussed with our staff, very similar to the 2014 team. That was a team of development. That was a team where Eli Apples and Von Bell, Darren Lee, guys who either redshirted or didn't play much, didn't have a big input into that 2013 season. 2013, our leading receiver, Philly Brown, leading rusher, Carlos Hyde, and then it turned out to be our leading player. Braxton Miller did not play in 2014, and he saw a steady improvement and obviously culminated in a pretty good finish. So I think I'll answer questions. Jerry's giving me a lot of stuff to look at. But I'll just answer some questions for you.
We'll start over here on the right, Rob.
Urban, you lose 9 guys or leaving early. It's like, whoa. But long-term, big picture, is that not a good thing for the program in terms of selling it?
You're a half-full guy then. Anytime I'm a fan of great players, and a bunch of those guys are going to play for a while. So. You have to look at it that way. We recruited very well. The door's open now. A guy like KJ Hill, we almost played him this year, but we didn't. You got Dontre Wilson, who's busted his tail, and he's got to get through the injury. But you got Marshawn Lattimore. You got all these really good young players that it's their time to shine and time to go. So, and I really like the class coming in. So, is what it is.
This is part of what you do, right? I mean, in NFL, you don't deal with this. College, this is just what you get used to. How do you get frustrated?
No, 9's a lot. 9's a lot. The 4 or 5. Like one year at Florida, we had 12 players send in their paperwork. And you're like, my goodness. And I remember LSU, I think, had 8 or 9 one time. But I mean, it's what we do, and you recruit. I've been in scenarios where that's not a whole lot of conversation about the NFL because you don't have those caliber players. This was over the top. I mean, this started on January 13th. And that's why, again, I credit to the coaching staff we have. I also credit, most of the credit goes to our players. To keep, all of a sudden you're a guy that's getting phone calls nonstop from agents. Your family is nonstop from agents and people with a lot of opinions. And then you go out and simply push play. It's very evaluation, against a team that's really good, Notre Dame. And did they play hard? They played like their hair was on fire. And the last 2 games, so that's a credit to what kind of people they are.
Austin.
Urban, when you say that number 9, did any of the 9 surprise you? Maybe you don't need to name names, but the decisions.
A couple, yeah, a couple. I'm not going to get into names, but then I thought, I'll say one that did was Tyvus, but he is a 4-year guy. This would have been his 5th year. 5th years are so rare now. That's why you don't need redshirt guys. His dream was to follow, and he was a pro the way he handled it. He's been a captain. He's been a national champion. And I love Tyvus. And he's got his degree.
When you guys sit down and have those conversations, what are they? What are the things that you really discuss? And is there any time where you're trying to recruit players that have been in your system for so long just to stick around?
No, recruit's not fair, and I don't ever, not recruit, but factual conversation. There's a Mickey and our staff is so well connected to the NFL that when there's, when an agent says, hey, I can get you up into the 3rd round, agents can't get you anywhere. It's you that have to do it. So we just help them with that kind of stuff. It's more factual information.
Middle, Dave.
You touched on running back briefly. How do you envision that going? I know that's to be determined, but do you think Curtis Samuel is going to be your guy, or Mike Weber, or just Briante Dunn? Or do you think it's going to be running back by committee?
I don't know. I think it's open door. We're going to see what we got. We're excited about every name you just mentioned. We're excited about it. Briante's made a great step as far as selflessness towards the team. Weber has shown incredible talent. We got some guys coming in mid-semester too. So you got Dontre Wilson, who I want to get him out of the backfield too a little bit. He's building his body. He's up to 195, 198. Get him to be a 200-pound guy. So real excited about that.
I think you touched briefly on recruiting numbers too. How many more could you get in this class? I think you guys have. How many can you get to?
I don't want to tell you. I think 4 or 5. I don't want to tell you.
Gotcha.
Because I might be off by 1.
Far left there. Excuse me. Ari?
Recruiting question. When you expected that you were maybe not 9, but that you guys were going to have a lot of guys go, have you been recruiting with the assumption that was going to happen, or have you had to change your plan at the end to add more spots? How was that going?
Yeah, we were recruiting the premise of 6-ish, and then the 9 showed up, and it's going to be a little more jump into it, which it has been the last 3 days.
And at the end of the Michigan game, you guys had a lead. You had a lead against Notre Dame. Did you ever envision or think about putting Cardale Jones in, and maybe why didn't he get into the game?
I'll be honest with you, I did not think about that. That's something that might have been appropriate to do. I didn't think about it.
Far left there, Matt.
You kind of touched on it, the 15-4 for 4 years, and what you've done the last 2 years. How do you look at this run in that, as you mentioned, you lose by 3 points to a team, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that are like, what could have been? How do you look at what these guys accomplished over 4 years, specifically the last 2 years? Is there regret at all?
Kirk Barton sent, and I love Kirk Barton, he sent me a text, and I got it like late at night, my phone buzzed. I looked over and it said, great, congratulations, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and something about people who are being critical, and I looked and I read it again, I said 15-4, I wrote back to him critical, but, first of all, I'm glad I know you hear coaches say they don't read. I don't read. He knows. The only thing that goes on my desk are very positive note. That's it. All I want to see is positive. But I will not be critical of our team, what they did. If you're asking me personally, I am absolutely ecstatic for the way they remain professional, because I've seen the other end of that. I'm sure you guys have too. If you cover the sport long enough and you know the social media now, the human element involved, the uncles, third uncles, the don't play, don't do that. And you saw, all you got to do is watch the way we played in that Fiesta Bowl. And that team was playing as if it was the Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame. And that's all I care about.
And